Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today we are discussing the 19th juz, and the 19th juz is a conclusion in the beginning of it of Surah Al-Furqan, and then followed by Surah Al-Shu'ara, and then Surah Al-Naml. In the 19th juz, on the first page, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about a person on the day of Qiyamah who had bad company and bad friends in the world who led him astray. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in verse 27, 28 and 29, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وَيَوْمَ يَعَضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ يقول يا ليتني اتخذت مع الرسول سبيلا يا ويلتى ليتني لم أتخذ فلانا خليلا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the effect of bad company and evil friends is such that on the day of Qiyamah a person will see that all of this influence which was negative on a person tried to make people happy for the wrong reasons, for the sake of getting away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the regret on the day of Qiyamah. Allah says يَعَضُّ الظَّالِمُ عَلَى يَدَيْهِ. The wrongdoer will bite his hand in disgust and regret. And what would he be saying? يقول يا ليتني اتخذت مع الرسول سبيلا. I wish that I had taken the path towards the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this would be the first regret, that if I had taken the path, the methodology, the sunnah and the iman of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I wish that I had done that. I would not be living in regret today. And then he would say that يَا وَيْلَتَى لَيْتَنِي لَمْ أَتَّخِذْ فُلَانًا خَلِيلًا. Oh, woe unto me that I wish I had not made so and so a khalil, a friend of mine. Why? Because that friendship, that companionship was such, I was trying to please him and her and that crowd at all times, and for the sake of getting their pleasure, but they earned the displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the effect of that company was لَقَدْ أَضَلَّنِي عَنِ الذِّكْرِ بَعْدَ إِذْ جَاءَنِي. That he says at that moment in the regret that friend or those friends of mine, they led me astray from the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the path of hidayah and guidance after it came to me. So now I have no excuse left. And Allah says, وَكَانَ الشَّيْطَانُ لِلْإِنسَانِ خَذُولًا. Shaitan for man is ever a deserter. So shaitan used those evil friends to make a person be manipulated towards evil and wrongdoing. And then on the day of Qiyamah, just as how shaitan will be deserting all of his followers, those bad friends will also desert a person and say, we don't know what you're talking about. That's why Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions to us the importance of good company. Al-mar'u ma'a man ahabba. A person is defined and will live his life and end his life on the ideals, principles of the ones who he loves and keeps the company of. Then at the conclusion of Surah Al-Furqan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enumerates the qualities of Ibad al-Rahman, the servants of Rahman, the most merciful, in verses 63 to 77. And a lot of these qualities have been enumerated in different surahs of the Quran, which I have been covering in our series. But two specific qualities I want to single out over here for our discussion. One is verse 67, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the spending habits. So spending habits of the righteous people and the servants of Allah, Allah says, وَالَّذِينَ إِذَا أَنفَقُوا لَمْ يُسْرِفُوا وَلَمْ يَقْتُرُوا وَكَانَ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ قَوَامًا. That they are those that when it comes to their spending habits, لَمْ يُسْرِفُوا, they are not too wasteful and extravagant. So they know the boundaries and parameters and what reaches wastage and being wasteful. So they are not too extravagant when it comes to spending. وَلَمْ يُسْرِفُوا. At the same time, they are not so sparing that they hold back to such an extent that it becomes a difficult way of living for them and also for their loved ones. So what is it? وَكَانَ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ قَوَامًا. They find a perfect balance between the two. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enumerates that moderation in life and moderation in spending habits and overall in the standard of one's life. Of course, whatever is halal, there's no discussion on that. But overall, if a person lives within their means and in a moderate, balanced manner, this is the quality of the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which Allah praises. Another dua of these servants is a dua for us to make after every salah and as much as possible in our daily invocations. What is this dua? This is the dua of asking for good spouses who stay on the deen and righteous children who we become the leaders of them and leaders of general righteous folk, righteous individuals. In verse 74, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that these same Ibadur Rahman, these same servants of Rahman are those يقولون, they say in their du'as and invocations, رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ. O our Lord, grant us from our wives, our spouses, our husbands, our mates, grant us min azwajina wa dhurriyatina, and also from our children and our offspring, qurrata a'yun, the coolness and the pleasure of our eyes. So that what we see and we live with, that we are pleased with them and they are pleased with us, qurrata a'yun, and Ya Allah, waj'alna lilmuttaqina imama, and make us the imams, the leaders of righteous people. So this is very, very important for us to focus on, that our homes have to become populated with the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doing everything together in our ibadah, and this will have effect in overall love and harmony. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us a prescription. This dua has the barakah of that. So what is the dua again? Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa dhurriyyatina qurrata a'yunin waj'alna lilmuttaqina imama. This then concludes Surah Al-Furqan. After this we have Surah Al-Shu'ara, which details the struggles and the mission of the Anbiya, starting with Musa alayhi salam, then Ibrahim, then Nuh, then Hud alayhi salam, Thamud, which they had Sayyidina Salih, and then Shu'aib alayhi salam. Then we have Surah Al-Naml, which mentions about Sulaiman and the story of his kingdom. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then concludes that. We will start the 20th juz tomorrow with the conclusion of Surah Al-Naml, and then Surah Al-Qasas inshallah and Al-Ankabut. May Allah give us tawfiq. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.